profit play is a winner. The afternoon, well, late morning, afternoon, bull put spread combo winner. So 2 for 2 on daily profit play yesterday. We are up a little bit pre-market from the SPY, about 0.25%. Futures up around 0.23. Let's go to SPX and get a feel for that. VIX around 17.68. Let's get some levels for the day. So sticky level around 6,300, positive negative gamma, pivot around 6,310, and we're going, take a screenshot of this really quickly. Okay, just give me 1 second. Today's the 6th. All right, let's get our VIX levels. 17.67 current VIX. We'll get a better reading in this morning between 9:30 and 10. Whether the VIX is going down or up for the morning, we shall find out, but I'll calculate based on 17.67 for our kind of ceiling and floor for the day. Ceiling is probably the focus. Looking to level in. Let's see what the day gives us. It is Wednesday, should be a pretty good day for daily profit play. No big news, if I'm not mistaken, no major news today. So all low impact. We got a bond auction this afternoon, a lot of Fed speakers this afternoon. So if we can get something pretty straightforward in the morning, that would be excellent. 1766, 1767. Okay, so 1.10. We are going to open potentially around 0.2% higher. So I'll recalculate this once we have the open, but this is the close. Let's go 1.1. So around this 63.65. 63.65 potential top. And 1.1. Around 63.30. Okay, so 60 or 62.30, sorry. 62.30. All right, so 62.30 potential low of the day. Again, based on current VIX. If the VIX is going up, then this floor shifts lower. Okay, if we gap up by 0.2%, I'll make the adjustment right here. We'll probably have to go up by maybe five points or so. So we'll calculate this to be VIX rule is 16 and VIX rule of 16. Okay, and if I modify it based on the open, we talked about this yesterday, if we open up a little bit higher, then I'll start from that point, go down 1.1% and go up 1.1%. So this might bump up slightly, this might bump up slightly, and that'll kind of give me my ceiling, floor, kind of ceiling 1, floor 1, and then this would be 2 and 2. If somehow the intraday pricing is going to adjust these, then I'll make that modification. 63.10. All right, so when this comes up in 23 minutes, that would be good. We'll make that adjustment. Yep, rule of 16. All it is the calculation where you take the value of the VIX. This is giving you an approximation for intraday volatility. So when we log into a broker platform, we have a couple things, right? We have implied volatility rank here for a broker like Tasty Trade. That's kind of a proprietary thing that they do. But every broker, for the most part, has a plus minus and an implied volatility. So 14.4% on the SPX going into this morning's trading with a plus minus of $34 or 34 points. Okay, now we have seen plenty of days where it says plus minus 34 and it goes way more than that. We've also seen plenty of days where it says plus minus 34 and it goes way less than that. So it's just what the market is able to do, probably doing in an option change with a normal standard deviation. Okay. So this, again, if all things were perfect, this is where price would open. This is the low of the day. This is the high of the day. That's plus or minus 34 points here, 34 points here. So giving us roughly about a 68 point difference, right? So nearly 70 points. You can see here around 65 to 35. That's about 70 points. This plus or minus is 68. So that's the standard deviation move that the market would be planning for. Most of the time, this is about 70% of the time the market's going to stay within that one standard deviation, positive or negative. Okay? Where it gets a little bit trickier is the 2 and 3 standard deviations are way out here, incorporating about 93% and 96% of the moves. Okay? So if you're just strictly trading probabilities, most of the time, the market's going to fall within one standard deviation of what the options market has adjusted to day by day. That's the one thing about this zero-day environment is every day you have a plus minus, you have implied volatility. Some days it shifts, some days it doesn't. But it's when price gets outside of that. I mean, there's a lot of wiggle room between, trading a standard deviation move and price goes outside of it, right? There's a lot of risk if you need price to stay within the standard deviation and it goes outside of it. There's a lot of risk there. So this is why typically if I'm trading, it's like trading small for this normal bell curve and then having extra trade sizes out here to see if the market's going to catch kind of a high or low for the day, right? So, risk management is, I keep saying this, but it is the most important thing because there's never a guarantee like you can call the bottom for the day or the top for the day. But truly, like we kind of can. In a way, within reason, we kind of can. Just because it's liquid, it's a liquid instrument. It's liquid. There's math here, right? Are we ever going to have, and this would be insane. Like if we had to experience this, it would be insane. It would be awful. I'd probably lose thousands of dollars, but I would survive and I'd trade the next day. 1987, the Black Monday crash that everyone remembers from 1987 was 20 standard deviations. 20. Not one, not two, not three, 20. Okay? So nothing's guaranteed here, right? Could we have, like, honestly, I'm curious what April 7th was during Liberation Day. I'm curious what April 9th was when we pivoted hard and the markets were up 9 and 10% in a single day. Those standard deviations had to have been big. More than one, more than two, probably more than three. I would imagine those. I don't know. I'm curious because I don't know what the actual like plus or minus was in the day, but those were insane days, right? So anyway, rule of 16 is an estimate that gives us, you take the VIX value. Okay, so your VIX is your S&P fear gauge essentially. You take the VIX value, 17.67, and you divide it by 16. And that gives you roughly the expected daily price movement of the S&P. Now that's what the market is anticipating. And one thing that happens when you sell premium is oftentimes the reason that traders sell premium and do that successfully, the reason that market makers sell premium and do it successfully is because oftentimes the expected move is usually greater than the actual. That is why it works, right? So if the market is anticipating, if I'm looking at like 1.1% higher, 1.1% lower, and the market only goes 0.4% or 0.5%, if I'm selling 1.1% higher or lower, that's premium I can collect. right? However, depending on how far up you go, how far down you go, the further away from current price is further and further out of the money, which means you get tiny little credits for further out of the money, even though you increase the probability. Okay. So there's kind of I don't know, there's like an art and a science to, I'm not excited about just automatically doing this. Let's say we go to my calculated levels today. If I were to jump into the market today and say, I'm going to sell 63.35 or 63.65, and I'm going to sell the 62.30, if that's all I did, it's a high probability trade, okay? But we're probably going to pull in very little credit because that is a plus minus of 70 points, and this is a plus minus of 65 points. Well, the broker is giving us a plus or minus of 34. So if you want premium on the day, that's going to be relatively like worth trading. We're looking at doing maybe something like a plus 40 above price and a minus 40 below price. That would give us better premium to collect. So we could have more credit. We can still have pretty good probabilities around, probably starting out around like 75 to 80%. Um, and I think that trade is going to be okay, right? That's if price just does what it does, which is comes in the morning, kind of chops around, and our plus minus 40 and 40 make us money, right? But if price drifts higher, we have risk. Price drifts lower, we have risk. That's why I'm calculating kind of the ceiling and floor. Type in a wire, yes, that makes sense. Okay. So the reason we have the VIX value of 16, it's based on the number of trading days a year. So we have about 252 trading days a year, and the square root of that is about 16. It's like 15.9. Okay. So it's the square root of the trading days. That's how you get 16 if somebody's asking that. Yeah? Okay. So that's where 16 came from. And then what do I do to apply it? You take the VIX divided by 16 and give us that plus or minus. And if the VIX is moving on the day, up or down, it does help to kind of have that calculation. If anybody is in my daily profit play session, okay, not this like daily profit plan, we do this every single day, but my daily profit play alert service. Okay, yesterday we had a master class, another live training session. I did post this core strategy review video. So for all of my members, if you would like a 30-minute video on the 3 or 4 core strategies that we deploy every single day, it'd be a great idea to grab your daily profit play, watch this video, and obviously when you're attending live these sessions and you're getting the alerts, you can follow along pretty easily. Okay? And I'll talk more about that in a little bit. Um, I'm not going to say that daily profit play. I'm not going to say that daily profit play is a prerequisite because you can come to me wanting to learn, and I'm happy to teach you whatever you want. But daily profit play is something I do every single day, and I'm looking to make daily income. And I'll tell you this, it feels pretty good. Even if it's as little as 20 bucks a day, 30 bucks a day, 50 bucks a day, 100 bucks a day, it adds up just fine. All right. And I mean, this is my job. I trade opening bell to closing bell, very few breaks in between, and I'm always kind of pruning my portfolios and adding trades and adjusting things. But daily profit play is something that I'm watching to trade every single day. Waterfall income is something I trade every single week. If any of you are coming in just watching these sessions for free, if you want to trade with me every day, every week, okay, every week, mostly every week, there's alert services, but I would say if I'm going to call out kind of two of my top and most consistent and most active services, because I'm going to do this regardless, right? News breakers, I need to see the markets have to line up with certain news events and catalysts, right? Double ups have to be really good outliers and like massive magnets in the market. Pinch point, I can just run a scanner. This is great. It's a scanner that feeds me great trades. Crash insurance is how to protect your portfolio. If you're coming to me a little bit more advanced or learning from me to be a little bit more advanced, following some of my trades, and you've got a bit more capital, this is a bit more capital intensive. This is probably my more advanced service where we do a lot. We probably have, 10, 15 strategies we deploy in this one, right? But so far we're like, 17 for 18. And I mean, I've probably cleared, several thousand bucks already with those trades. But daily profit play, every single day. And you can see here in the trades, and we got Randy 2 for 2 yesterday. We got Dave that I don't know what day you did yesterday. What did you do? 5 for 5, 6 for 6, Dave? A lot of traders that just, this is their bread and butter every single morning, right? Is daily profit play. So just throwing it out there. Watch this Wednesday. Let me bring up the scanner. I'm going to bring up my pinch point scanner. See if anything's looking good today. Okay, we've got 13 stocks in the go list. Let's have a look. Okay, SoFi, Keurig, Dr. Pepper. Not a bad list. Okay, I'm gonna take a screenshot of this. We can come back to this in a second, but just like that, I filtered through 9,500 stocks to give me 13 that I'd like to take a look at today. Seems pretty reasonable. Okay, if I go a little bit larger, Robinhood, Russell, AT&T, Cisco, ADT, that's home security, Carnival Cruise Lines, Coca-Cola, DraftKings. DraftKings has earnings. I think they're either today or tomorrow. Celsius Holdings has earnings this week as well. I think this is on Thursday this week. So, these are all stocks that would be on my radar in kind of the pinch point setting, which is if price is doing something like this, price is coiling, or price is sideways. This is what I want. This is what the pinch point does. It's identifying stocks that are near the ends of an accumulation distribution cycle and looking for some type of volatility expansion. So whether it's sideways and boring or it's pinching and coiling, we get in towards the end of these cycles, and usually direction is what follows. And it's that direction that we can benefit from, whether it's bullish or bearish. So we have the ticker, you have the direction based on real-time momentum, and then we have everything here. If you want to click and get a trade idea, this algo will generate a full trade idea if you're interested. Okay, so I'm looking at stocks that have been coiled for a couple of weeks, not just a day. I want to see a couple of weeks. I want to see several weeks here, and give me some hopeful direction in the next like 30 to 60 days. Okay, so we'll come back and take a look at those. Just a real quick note on the daily profit play again. We do it every day. Okay, some of the notes we took this week. Just want to share this. I will keep adding these thumbnails. Let me go over here. Okay, some of the additional thumbnails and segments we're going to have will be deconstructing some of these trades. Okay, so if you're wondering, like, well, some of these option strategies, I keep hearing about all these option strategies. Well, all I know how to do is buy a call or buy a put. That's a great starting point. Okay, but I would love to have, all this education that can get you prepared for a variety of strategies. That all this means is we can trade the market up, down, or sideways, right? If the market, if we believe that we can trade the market and benefit from it going up, there's a variety of strategies we can do that with. So for example, I'll give you the highlights right now as we kind of go into a brief education segment. If I think that the market is going up, how can I trade that? If I think the market's going up, I can trade that with a bull call spread. I can trade that with a bull put spread. I can trade that with a calendar spread. I can trade that with a diagonal spread. If I wanted to pin a price at a higher point, I could trade all these, but these are more directionally neutral. That's neutral. That's neutral. This is going to be a profit trap. This is going to, you could trade this one positive as well, the profit trap. You could trade this, you could trade all these. Strangle straddle, probably not so much. That's going to be more neutral. A buy right is you buy the shares and sell a call. Ratio spread, you can trade a lot of things bullish with a ratio spread. A 1-1-1, we trade those in my waterfall income. Zebra is a zero extrinsic backdated ratio. It's called a zebra because you essentially cap the risk on the downside with all the upside gain and then leaps your long terms. So there's a lot of ways to trade it. Some are easier than others, right? If it goes up, I can just buy a call. Yes, you can. But if you buy a call, you have to cover the premium that you pay. That's the one thing that traders don't understand is you buy a call and time is your worst enemy. If you create a basic spread, you take away a lot of the power that time, that what time hurts us when we're long calls, we take away a lot of that power that time has. So all we need price to do with a spread is get over a certain strike price. So if again, nothing wrong with buying calls and puts. Absolutely nothing wrong with them. But if you don't understand the time factor hurts so bad that when you buy a call, you want that price to move very quickly. to cover either the cost of your premium or move quick enough that the options market is increasing in value very soon. So if I went out, let's say 60 days on a call option, I probably want to see my price direction moving within about 10 to 20 days. If we get past 30 days, if we're past 30 days, time is no longer helping us. Okay. But if we get, a little window here, 10 to 20 days, if price is going our way, we could probably see some gains in the call option. So whatever you use for duration, whatever you use for time in your call options or put options, if you're just long a call, whatever you go out in time, the halfway mark is pretty much the critical spot. Are you seeing profit yet? If you are, protect it. If you're not, if you want to lower volatility in your portfolio, take a loss, take a break even, take a small win. Okay? Because if you go 35 to 40 days, all of a sudden this is 40 days, this is 50 days, this is 60 days, time is not helping at all. In fact, time gets even more severe, which means the only way you make money later in that time cycle is you have to be above your premium level. You have to be covering the cost of your trade, or else it's going to be worthless. And that is the most aggravating thing to a trader is you buy something here, right? Price goes up, but it goes up slowly. And time is working against it the entire way. So I pay here, my break even is my premium, right? There's my premium. And at the very, very end, rather than this thing like, wow, look at that move, it's up, $10. Well, if I paid $9 for the move, I'm only going to make a buck on that trade, even though this thing could have gone up $10, right? You're like, how did I not make any money? Well, because time worked against you and it didn't move fast enough and far enough to get you paid. But if you take a spread where I just buy a call, sell a call, as long as price is above this, I can get the full profit here of that spread. Now, we might cap the upside, but we can increase probabilities and take away that power of time. Okay. All right. So what do we have for comments here? Bill says, just curious how late in the morning. Working on what? I mean, I'm here all day, man. DPP trade room not working. Well, you're in it right now, Dan. You're in the session. So what's going on? Dave crushed it. Yep, per usual. 3 for 3 looks like. Very nice. $1,000 a day for Dave. That's great, man. It's still active. I can check that out. It's probably still close. We didn't really move a lot this week on IWM. You're talking about waterfall income. So if I go to, holy fudge, man. Well, my trade that we have pending for Snap might get filled this morning. I mean, honestly, I might get assigned. Son of a bee. We'll find out. I had a 9x8 for newsbreakers. A 9x8 for 70 cents. Maybe that gets filled because we're trading way in the money here. Um, if it doesn't fill at 70 cents, then there's no fill. But if it does fill, I might get assigned. Sheesh. Record revenue growth can't stop massive sell-off. This has to be a bait. I don't know. I think this is a bait. There's pretty strong support back here to 2022 lows. I'm hoping that this is an opportunity for Snap to, bottom and then start to rip. We see that price manipulation all the time. I'm hoping that's the case. It'd suck if this thing's like, it's going to go to 7 or 6 or 5. Um, Interesting. So record revenue, but somehow missed. Somebody set lofty expectations for Snap. Link for daily prop. All right. Okay. Well, for these sessions, remember, if you're just in Telegram, if you're in my Telegram, you can join right here. ProssperityPub.com/daily profit. So you can join through Telegram. It should be the same link. It's literally the same link I use every day for daily profit play. So, all right, sounds good. Okay, we have 3 minutes for the open. So, a couple stocks to take a look at. I'll be pricing these out today for pinch point. I do want to talk more about daily profit play today. I like to get the trade set up this morning. VIX is up slightly at 17.7. I'm going to see what I can do premium wise at these levels. So could I do like leveling in at 63.50, maybe 60 and 65 if the market's going to go down? I'm going to try to grab some of that premium today and I'll size into it. Okay. Greg, that's awesome, man. 5 for 5 over 1,400 bucks. That's awesome, man. Yep. Keep up the great work. Love seeing that. Love seeing those winners. 2 minutes before. Let me ask this for a little education segment, strategy wise, is it fair if we just kind of start at the top? These are pretty simple, pretty simple. Like I want to break these down and deconstruct these and give us some real examples. So we'll start with debit spreads and we'll tap into debit spreads more tomorrow. So bull call spread tomorrow in a little education segment. I'm just going to call it kind of deconstructing a trade. Bull call spread we'll do tomorrow. And then on Friday, we'll do bear put spreads. It's just trading the markets up or down. Credit spreads, trading the market down or up. Okay. But just understanding like spreads are amazing. They're capped risk, they're capped reward, but you have a line in the sand, you take away all that power of the time decay, and you just let the trade work. This to me is like what I think is a very fair trade. With a price and a timeline, can price be above or below a certain level for me to make money? I love that trade, right? Because if I was willing to say, okay, I'm going to take 1% risk, if price is above that line, I make money. Well, if you give the price some time, most likely we're going to see price higher. If we traded the SPY, for example, if we traded the NASDAQ, for example, if you give the price time, it's probably going to find a way to try to go higher. Unless, of course, we're in a pullback segment, right? Or a pullback phase. Okay, so we gapped up a little bit higher. My levels, I'm going to see if I can sell like so we gapped up to 10. I'm going to see if I can sell like the 50 to 65. I'm going to focus on selling today. So I can sell 50. I'm going to go 50, 60, 55, 65. Try to grab 90 cents really quickly. That was fast. I might shift it down then. Let me cancel. That was started at 50. If I go 45, 55, 50, and 60, get over $1 for this. Let's try $1. Well, oh, Snap did get filled. Holy crap. All right, so Snap got filled at Newsbreakers. Like it's like a $25 risk. I'm gonna try for $1, 20 here. Got filled at $1.25. Okay, and VIX, not really a lot of movement yet. All right, so I'm gonna post this for daily profit play. This is gonna be like a sizing. This is gonna be a sizing type day. So I've got a 40 by 50, 45 by 55. I did a 45 by 50. I'm sorry, 45 by 55 and 50 by 60 for $1.25. Okay. So I'll get this posted inside the alerts for daily profit play. I'm just doing the bear call side right now. Today is the fifth or the sixth expiration. So 63.40. Okay. So that was 45. and 50. All right, I totally, it's 45 and 50. So 45 and 55 and 50 and 60. There, sorry. So it's correct in Telegram, and let me put it in the trade tracker as well. Nice fill, Catherine. 135 is a good fill. Yep, 135 is a good fill. Okay, and then newsbreakers, that trade that we put on Snap is filled. So that got filled at 76 cents. So there's a 24-cent risk in that trade. Um, we have it out to the end of the month, so there is a window where it's like, does Snap come back? Are we also it's a credit spread, so there's a potential assignment, but I'll see where the break even is. Either way, it's like I'm not taking more than a 24-hour loss on that trade. Okay, so we'll keep an eye on that. So now we're trading around 6,300. I'm going to get some levels in here. Um, if I go 6,300, this is going to be on the call side. So I sell the 63. I can buy the 60, try to get filled for 55 bucks. Okay. So technically, actually, I might have to go a tiny bit higher than that because we did gap up slightly. If this is the low of the day, if we gap up, this is the low of the day, then my 1.1% may be up to around 70. Okay, with that slight gap up, this might go up to 70, 70. So I'm going to try this trade here. I'm going to go 6,300, sell up to 70, and see if I get filled for 65. Now go 6,300 and try to get filled for 60. Okay, CWST, I believe that's a winner for pinch point. Yep, pinch point just filled. 315 credit. Automatic winner on pinch point. Not too shabby. That's a 46% winner. Grabbing some profit there on CWST, auto winner. Love that. So pinch point. Okay, so new trade. This is trade management. Trade number 31, CWST. Entry was 215. Close 315. 46.5%. Love those auto closes on the old pinch point. Okay, let's go into here. So I've got the 8x9. Uh, this is a news. Get some organization. Go into my SPX. Doing bear calls today. So this pulled in $1.25. If I can have this thing trading down to 50 cents or lower, I'll probably take the profit for the day. Okay, nice, Randy. Filled at $1.40. Good trade, man. Are you in the same legs that I am? It's a good trade. Okay, very nice. Yeah, $1.40 is a great fill. Catherine got filled at $1.35. Those are good. Good fills. Okay. Waterfall income, showing some profit, showing some profit, showing some profit. Those are good. Watching this for the day. And I'm looking to level in case price goes up. I'm going to level into this one 70 wide. This is a 70 wide spread. I'm going to try to get filled for 65 bucks. This is a 65 wide trying to get filled for 60 bucks. There's risk in these trades, but I think based on the, right now it's like this is if this is the low of the day, which I don't think that it's going to be. I think the market may pull back a little bit lower, maybe find this 6,300 zone. Okay. But if we say like, okay, hey, this is the low of the day. Low of the day goes up 1.1%. That puts me up to around 70, right? 63.70. So I will try to keep these trades running with small risk. So in 65, I'm gonna go 62.50. This one I'm willing to risk a little bit more. Okay. All right. And if price goes down, the best part is if I'm right with just like fading this move a little bit and price goes down, then this bear call spread at a buck 25 shows me profit. So we're already up 40 cents. 40, I mean 50 cents. Not bad. So $1.25, I get this to trade for, let's say, 50 cents. Um, let's see. I mean, I'm not trying to be greedy here, but 50 cents is a good win. No, they're all credits. Who's ever asking that? Don says get filled at a buck 50. Nice. Very nice. Bill says buck 60. Yeah. I mean, are you taking the same trade? Price has actually gone down for the last 5 minutes. I'm surprised you're getting that good of a fill, unless you're going lower. I mean, that's a very generous fill. But certainly, if you're getting a better fill than me, great. I actually am happy with that. Let me deal with the risk if I'm getting 5 or 10 cents different. But 20, 30 cents different, that's pretty substantial. All right. So right now, potential modified, and this is a little bit early, but if we were to go down 1.1, that makes our low around 62.45. If this is the high of the day, then our low is going to be right around 62.45. If we have, I mean, we're filling the gap, so I think our 63.65 is a pretty good top level today. Price is cooperating. I'm up 50 bucks. I mean, realistically, it's like I should probably take profit. Just take 50 bucks, move on, happy day. But if I'm right directionally and it's harder and harder for price to come back and find these levels today, then I'd like to pull in, 60, 70, 80 bucks today if I can. This is Yeah, I mean, look, a percentage is always a good idea. So on a credit spread, so when we do a typical daily profit play, and this is the thing, I'm going to talk about this a little bit more in the next like 20 or 30 minutes. Um, if you get access to my daily profit play alerts with Telegram, I'm going to put this at the bottom of the thread. Okay. Actually, I'll do this after I do today's session. Okay. After I do today's session, by let's say 11:30 today, I'm going to post this link in Telegram again because I'm not sure when you join my Telegram for daily profit play alerts, I'm not sure if you actually see the history. You might, but I don't know if you do. If you don't see the history, then by like 11:30 today, I'll post that video. This is a 32-minute video that covers 4 key strategies. Okay. So when I place these trades and I post them as alerts, you know what strategy we're doing. You can find your underline, your expiration, your puts, your calls. Are we taking them for credits or debits? Usually we take them for credits. Okay. But I'll put this out because I'm not sure if you see the history or not. I see each post history too. Well, that's now down, but what about before? Like if you join my Telegram today, I'm not sure if you go back and see the history. I hope you do, but I'm not sure. I guess I can check settings here. Um, Chat history. Yeah. So anyway, I think to be safe, I'll just post that again. All right. So we're seeing some nice immediate profit here. There is risk on that trade. My line in the sand would be the 45 and 50 strikes. So 45 and 50 right here. I also noted the high from last Thursday and the low from last Friday because so far this week, what's price doing? It's staying right in the middle of all this garbage. Okay. Vivi says got closed out $3 on Go. Did you know? 209 at $3. That's a great trade. Okay, we're in that one. Let me see what the profit target is. It's got to be close to getting filled. I'm up about 50 bucks. Yeah, 25%. I've got the profit target set a little bit higher. Did I not set a profit target? You got to be kidding me. Got in for 209. So 313. I'll set a 309. I can't believe I didn't set a take profit there. Okay, so you taking profit on that, Vivek? You got close for $3? Oh man, that's a great fill. Let me see here. Can I grab, if you get close for $3, I kind of want to close it. Let me see if I can get out of here for 259. I'm gonna try to grab 50 bucks out of this thing. Not filling. I'll let that marinate for a second. Nice. Let me check the price action on Go. Oh yeah, nice little surge. So earnings popping up here. Let's see if we, yeah, I think we can get back up there. So if we revisit those highs, let's see. I'll try 259. What would that winner be? 50 out of 209. It's a 24% winner. I'm gonna go 30%. So 272. I'll set this at 2.72. Try to go after a 30% winner. So I'll just auto set that. Good. Okay. Currently up about 30 bucks. And I haven't set a take profit yet. But I'm going to go ahead and set one. I'll go to 50 cents. That'd be a $75 winner. Let's see here. I'm going to go $1.25. I'll go for a $90 winner. So I'll just set that, not worry about it. I'll go after 90 bucks. If price goes lower, I might just let it expire. If I'm confident that the market is not going to be, testing 45 and 50 today. So I wanted to post these horizontal lines. So 45 and 50. We go SPX. So high and low. High from Thursday, low from Friday, and then intermediate levels 45 and 50 today. 63.45 and 50. Those are the two kind of defense levels I'd like to see price respond to today. Let's go coordinates and 50. There we go. So if price is anywhere in here, this makes money. If price goes up a little bit, I'll threaten it with risk, but as long as it doesn't exceed these levels, I make money. If price goes down, easy money. So if price is going to stay here and try to fight, 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 okay, fine. I will size in to, maybe taking a duplicate of these trades, but I'm going to size in a little bit larger up here to kind of mitigate some of that risk. But if it's just WAT, that's another pinch point, I believe. 495 debit just closed out for $6. That's another winner on pinch point scanner. Telling you, man, you guys are not in these services. We're just taking some good trades and winners. That's Waters Corp closed out for 646. That's a nice winner. 6.46 minus 4.95, 30.5%. Another auto winner. WAT closed out. That's trade number 32. Entry was 495 debit. Close 6.46 credit. Broker, auto close for profit, and a 30.5% return. It's one of my favorite feelings in trading. Set the trade, set the take profit, hit the take profit. I love it. So, and we have done that on, that's now 17 winners over the last month or so. Feels pretty good. And those will just keep happening. Very good. Vivek, I'm going to try to join you there for that winner on Go. I didn't have that one set. It would have been set at just above $3. So I'm going to try to set it at like a 50-ish dollar winner, $60 winner. Try to go after 30%. If it revisits the high, I should be able to get there. Okay. All right. So far, so good. Price action's pretty chill. For my usual suspects doing their standard daily profit play, I'm sure it's looking just fine for the morning. So Dave, how you doing? Larry, how you doing? Who else is doing standard daily profit play? Randy, how you doing? Probably fine, right? We're about 20 minutes into the market and price hasn't gone anywhere. That's pretty much exactly what you want to see. Yep. Dr. Barnes looking good. Excellent. My target, sure. Yep, I'll update that in Telegram for daily profit play. Is for the $1.25 credit to show 50 cents debit or lower to protect profit. So I'm happy at like $50 to $75 on the day for that one trade. If I think I've got a better chance of making more, then maybe taking it down to like 45 or 35. That would be 80 and $90 on the day, which for that's totally fine. I'm not going to. I'm already in. I'm already in. So I'm good just kind of holding the trade as I'm doing it. I'm just focused on selling for right now, and I think I'm more confident calling a bit of the top. Notice what's happening here with the VIX. The VIX is sideways, but it's hanging out around 17.74. I'm not sure I did the exact calculation this morning. 17.74. Yeah, right around the same, like 1.1, 1.11% move. But remember, if the VIX goes up a little bit, then the S&P is going to go down. So my ceiling, my selling at the tops are going to be hopefully more profitable. If the VIX goes if it goes anywhere directionally to the upside today, then that hopefully helps our, bear call spreads. If price just does this on the VIX, then it's going to be probably a sideways choppy day. There you go. Standard daily profit play, 165 out of 135. Excellent win. Very good trade. There you go, Dave. Bill says, if you wanted to add more contracts, would you do the same trade? Um, well, it depends. So if you're talking, Bill, are you asking like the standard? Are you talking like the standard daily profit play trade to add more contracts? Or are you talking about like my trade but leveling in? The standard daily profit play, make sure if you have a sell call and a buy call that you're not, selling another call at your buy call level. Yeah. So if I want to add more contracts to the trade that I posted for daily profit play, I would probably keep the sell at 63.50. I'd probably do a 63.50. I wouldn't do the 45. That's a little bit lower. Price is going to go up, right? If price is going to go up, then this 45 might be threatened. So I'd probably end up focusing on like selling another contract or two at the 50 and trying to get like a 50 and maybe the like 60 by 70 levels. So this would be like area one, two, and three to kind of size in and see if that holds as the top today. Does that make sense, Bill? Okay, and based on the low, let's go 1.1%. Go just got filled for profit. I'm taking that profit right along with Vivek. That's another winner for pinch point scanner. That was 272. Yep, 272. 30.1% winner. Trade number 20 is a winner. Pinch point. Trade management update. Trade number 20. Go. Entry was 209 debit. Close 272 credit. Broker. Auto close for profit. That's a 30.1% return. A member closed for $3. Credit. Okay, taking the win. So winner on CWST, win on WAT, win on Go. Nice winners. Okay, good stuff. All right, pinch point doing well today. Love to see that. Back to break even on daily profit play. Waterfall's looking fine. Hopefully some profit traps here. We've got potentially a $2,000 profit trap on waterfall income. Bear call, we're taking on a bit of risk, but I'll be watching these levels and possibly sizing in. So I can size in with a 50. I might take another sell here at 50 by, I do the math. So we take this low, 17.4. I probably have to go to 70. So 50 by 70. So I'm going to go 50 by 70 for 15 bucks pending. So a couple pending orders out there. Let's see what happens. Which waterfall numbers? All the ones that have like the profit trap. That would be, let me see here. That would be trade number 98. Trade number 98 has a potential $1,000 profit trap. And trade number 94 for waterfall has a $500 profit trap. And trade number 93 has a $500 profit trap. So if price is here or slowly going higher, those profit traps come into play. Okay. All right. If you saw this yesterday, my thumbnail for my afternoon session, oops, my thumbnail for my afternoon session, we have had, so I just, every time we get over like 50 trades, I'm just curious like how well we're doing. We've got a nice little hot streak on daily profit play right now, 72 out of 77 winners. So 93.5% winners. We've had a nice stretch. We've closed out over 400 winners in this service, right around 90%. Two for two yesterday. Hopefully another two for two today. And if I get more trades, great. But it's just look. There's I don't know how like simple or complicated it seems when it's like there's a lot of moving parts sometimes in the morning, and it seems like you got to be pretty fast when it comes to a 0 day activity, right? Like 0 day is price sensitive, it's time sensitive, and that's the game you're playing. I think it's easy for a lot of traders to get caught up in zero DTE and think like, oh my gosh, there's so much opportunity. There is, but managing your risk is the most important thing. I think managing your risk is the most important thing, and then choosing your trade size is the next important thing, which is still risk management. But also like letting some good trades set up for you, letting some trades come to you. Just setting like one trade in the morning doesn't necessarily guarantee like that's a great trade. You know, I like the idea of having a even in a 0 day environment, if I can still have a plan B or a plan C to mitigate some of my risk or help me win the day, um, that's my favorite way to trade. If I'm going for daily income, my job is to do whatever I can to win the day, without stupid amounts of risk, obviously. Okay. But anyway, we've got a nice little hot streak going. This is like the fifth or sixth time over the last, we're almost at a year of the service, by the way. This is like the fifth or sixth time that we've logged over like 50 trades and had like a 90+% win rate. And it just keeps happening, keeps happening. Like we get some hot, hot, hot streaks going, which is pretty sweet. Okay. All right. So I'll talk more about that in just a couple of minutes. I'm just going to do a spot check here. I'm still up some profit on daily profit play this morning. I'm going to see if price can get back to maybe, I don't know, I'm going to see if we can get down to like a new intraday low. If possible, that'd be pretty nice. And look at my key levels here. So we're pretty sticky right around this like 63.10. But my biggest gamma level for today is two spots. It's 6,300 and it's 6,350. So if we test 6,300, I'll set a chart alarm there and see what that trade is worth. Maybe it's worth protecting some profit. If it chops around, all morning, okay, does it end up catching a bid or catching a direction? I guess I'll know more based on the VIX. If the VIX starts to retreat, then the market might be going up for the day, but I still think I can catch hopefully a topping trade. There you go, Randy. Randy closed out his 200th win. I'm gonna have to acknowledge that in these some Randy. I think your success has been using some of my presentations. So I had 175. Now your 200th win. You still got that 90% win rate. That's awesome, man. How's Jazz doing? The Utah Jazz? Just kidding. Um, yeah, it sucks. Hasn't done anything. It's not looking hot. However, we finally are getting some movement here. So what have we been waiting for Jazz? We've been waiting for a breakout. Based on pinch point, we're finally starting to see some progress. So if we have a couple things happening, this was pinched, so we took the trade. If this is breaking and going lower, guess what happens? Our trade starts to get better. If we come down to these levels, Jazz can pay us. Okay. If this is going to open up the floodgates where we have a gap lower and then a fill that comes back to the highs and then moves, right? We start eating into this inefficiency. I think that we just started to see the market give us some direction. So probably not a bad thing there, but I'll let it do its thing. Okay. All right. Good stuff. Okay. While we hang out and just watch some daily profit play action, um, I know we have a lot of people in these rooms that I'd see. I would hope most of you are in these rooms like with daily profit play alerts. But if I've got people that are watching, I get this question all the time: what trade do you just take? How do we get that trade? Right? Look, if you want any of my trades, you can have them. Email our team. Okay. Support@prosperitypub.com. Tell the team what you want. I want to know what Chris does every single day. What's the trade he takes every day? Daily profit play. What's the trade he takes every Monday? Waterfall income. Right? What are the strategies he offer? They'll give you the list. But I want to talk more about daily profit play because that's kind of my bread and butter, and that's what I like to do is win the day. Okay? All right. Let's spend a little time on this. Um, we have a lot of trades here. Okay? Average winning trade. Again, this is over 900 trades in the service. So It's been very active between back testing and live trading. We're averaging about 89% winners. And I'm talking about making about $100 every single day with risk. And this is true, like risking about $1,000 to make $100. Okay. Now that might seem backwards, but we rarely, seldomly lose the full $1,000. Make sense? So rarely do we see that. All right. The last 7 months, you probably heard me and others say that this is a news-driven market, and one man above all is driving. I mean, it's crazy. He is driving a lot of the news, a lot of the market reactions. I mean, my gosh, American Eagle Outfitters. Donald Trump literally drove the news on that by saying it's the hottest thing, and the stock is up like 20% after a major controversy. Okay, it's like it's crazy the impact that Donald Trump is having on the markets right now. So some of the crazy moves we've seen have all been linked back to him. Tariffs on, tariffs off, pause, no pause. What are we doing? Here's copper, here's this. Lots and lots of gaps, lots and lots of crazy movement that's getting stirred up here. Okay. But something is happening now that I think most investors are missing. The market is getting used to Donald Trump. Instead of the market going crazy every single day, every time he tweets, every time he posts on Truth Social, thank you for your attention on the matter, right? Every time he opens his mouth, what we're usually seeing now is a little bit more of a smaller, more neutral reaction. Okay. And I think this is where we have a hidden gold mine where most traders don't have a clue how to take advantage of this unique period. Because right now it's summertime. Right now it's slow. Market makers still have the price. Okay. And the news is driving all this uncertainty. Price action is actually much less chaotic. By the end of the strategy presentation, I hope you realize how big of a fan I am and how much you can take advantage of this method. Okay, we do this every single day. So keep in mind, we're still hitting about 89% winners every single day with over 900 trades. And we've got a nice little hot streak, 93.5% over the last 77 trades, winners. Pretty good stuff. Okay, the exact same trade my top students have been raving about for months now, making money, making money.